All right, guys, week 2's here. Who should be in your lineup? That's coming at you next. All right, starting with the wide receivers today, we're going to start with one you might be a little bit hesitant to put in your lineup, and that's Mike Evans. I'm going to tell you, week 2, we should be putting him in your lineup even after that week 1 action, and there is a reason for that. The Tampa Bay media kind of cornered Byron Leftwich this week at a press conference, and the offensive coordinator had this to say about why Mike Evans didn't get fed in week 1.
I'll put it like this. I think he left this game with more catches than he did a year ago. Am I right? So it's an improvement. No, I don't view it that way. Mike don't see singles. You see, Mike, it's no one guy following him around. So I haven't seen that really in a while versus anybody. There's never really one guy following him a while. We hope we get that at some point. But Mike knows more about the team. All Mike can do is get himself in position. We'll move him around, get him in position to allow him to make plays, but I wouldn't freak out after one game, anybody.
All right, so that's it. He explained why AB and why Godwin had the bigger days in the press conference. Dallas had a plan to take away Mike Evans, and I don't think that's going to be something that the NFL has the luxury to do this year, and the quicker they figure out that, the better it is for your fantasy roster. Now, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to try to bracket away Mike Evans and just let AB and Chris Godwin run loose? Like, you at some point just have to play zone, amazing zone against this team and hope that you can get to Tom Brady with your pass rush. Like, this offense is going to be epic this year. Mike Evans is going to be a part of that. He's going to break 1,000 yards. He's going to get some touchdowns. I know it was a rough start week 1, but I think it gets better going into week 2. Atlanta, they don't have the personnel to do what Trayvon Diggs and the Dallas Cowboys did in week 1. You know, the Cowboys made Tom Brady look the other way. I was watching that game. You know, Mike Evans lining up on the left side. Tom Brady snapping the ball, he's instantly looking to the right. Why? Because he knew Dallas was trying to take him away, and he was taking what was given to him, and that was one-on-ones with Antonio Brown and one-on-ones with Chris Godwin, and big fucking points for both of those guys. So I don't think Atlanta has the personnel to do that and to take away Mike Evans. I think he's a great start this week. You invested a lot in your draft for him. Throw him in your lineup. Give him another week. Next, we're going to move on. Jarvis Landry gets the Houston Texans week 2. He had a pretty good week 1. Now, I said in my acquisitions video that I like guys that get minimum 6 targets. That's my line of demarcation. So Jarvis Landry last week got 5. He's not quite there. He was 5, but he caught all 5 of them for 71 yards. He got a couple rushes, one of them right next to the end zone. He got in, got a touchdown, had almost 90 all-purpose yards. We're talking about a guy that had success in week 1 without Odell Beckham Jr. there. Guess what? Odell's already been ruled out for week 2. That means no Odell opposite Jarvis Landry. I don't think they lean on him and give him a huge target share, but I think he gets more than 5 targets this week. I think, last week was a special game plan coming out week 1 against the Kansas City Chiefs. And guess what? They almost fucking did it. They almost did it, but they didn't quite do it. But I think they let loose a little bit more this week. Jarvis Landry gets a few more targets, and going against the Houston Texans that let the Jacksonville Jaguars have 86 and a tutty for DJ Chark, 77 and a tutty for Marvin Jones, and Chenault caught 7 passes for 50 yards. And so if you're in PPR, you do the math, that's still 12 points. So that's still solid for a flex. So no Odell. Like, this guy has a great chance to, in my opinion, to get it in the 80, 100 yards and a touchdown, have 6-7 catches. Jacksonville was able to tear up Houston at some point. Houston's not good. I think Jarvis Landry's a pretty solid flex play this week. Yeah, that's right. He's a flex play. I'm not bringing you just wide receiver ones and wide receiver twos. We need to know what those flexes are. I think Jarvis Landry is a solid flex for you this week. Obviously, Mike Evans, you're looking at a wide receiver 2, and I think he's got major wide receiver 1 upside. Miles Sanders coming at you for the first running back of the day. Now, this looks like a player that I might have gotten wrong in preseason training camp analysis, and I couldn't be more excited to be wrong about a player. This guy, I was worried about him having to deal with Boston Scott. 0 Boston Scott week 1. That's fucking awesome. I was worried about him like having no passing work. That going to Kenneth Gainwell. Guess what? 5 targets, 4 receptions. Kenny Gainwell only had 3 targets in the game. This guy had over 100 all-purpose yards. He was great. Now, he only had 15 rushes. It was for 74 yards. As always, hyper efficient with his touches. I just wish it was 18 instead of 15. I mean, if it was at 18 touches, I'm pretty damn sure this guy quite possibly would have gotten over 100 yards rushing. But when you add in, now they are for sure going to use this guy in a passing game. Maybe he's past the yips and he's past the drops. Like, this guy could very well be a high-end running back too for you this season. And I think that starts this week. I mean, you think about what they have to do this week. They get the 49ers, and the 49ers, I know they let a lot of that work that was done against them by Swift and Williams later on in the game. And I'm telling you, Miles Sanders, if they feed this guy anywhere between 15 to 18 touches, I think he has a really good chance at getting 100 yards rushing. If they're going to give him 5-6 targets, he definitely has a chance at getting pay dirt. This guy, every time he touches the ball, is a big play waiting to happen. I really, really think Miles Sanders has a good chance at having a big week. My other running back, Chase Edmonds, man, for Arizona. Let this guy loose. Like, they brought in James Conner in the offseason. They still wanted Chase Edmonds to be the complimentary back, maybe the third down back. Dude, this guy outplayed James Conner flat out. James Conner was terrible. Like, that guy looks like he's running in mud. Meanwhile, Chase Edmonds going out there, he is getting 106 all-purpose yards on 16 total touches, only had 12 rushes, but you add in that passing down work and his hyper efficiency when he touches the ball. 16 touches is a great amount of touches for a guy like Chase Edmonds to give you an opportunity at a big day. Connor, like I said, looks terrible, man. Like, this is another offseason acquisition, free agency, where they're like, we're going to come bring this guy in. He's going to be our early down guy. He's going to bang in between the tackles. And just like the Jordan Howards and the Mark Ingrams and the goddamn Frank Gores in front of him, just fucking 3 whatever yards a carry, dude. James Conner looks like a guy that had a couple years and and the rug's been pulled out from under him. I think this is a terrible acquisition by Arizona, and that's going to end up benefiting Chase Edmonds owners in the long run. So I think this is a guy you totally need in your lineup. And then I do have one tight end for you this week. I think Noah Fant's going to be huge for you this week, dude. Noah Fant, now without Jerry Jeudy there being the primary short area target, a guy that was basically, he was right there with Jerry Jeudy, target for target, blow for blow last week until Jeudy got hurt. And you think about the lowly Jacksonville Jaguars, what they just let Tyrod Taylor do to him, what they just let the Houston Texans do to him. I'm not here to say that all of a sudden the Broncos are the end-all, be-all of offense. In fact, I'm far from that. We still got Teddy Bridgewater under center, but, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Man, they are terrible. And I think Noah Fant's going to have a chance to take advantage of that. This guy looks legit ready for a year 3 breakout. I think he has an opportunity to be a top 5 tight end by the end of the season. Teddy Bridgewater is going to use this guy. My only worry is, are they going to get him involved in the red zone? Last week, we had Albert Okwuegbunam, 3 targets. All 3 were caught. One of them ended up for a touchdown. You know why? All 3 of those targets came in the red zone. I'm just worried that Albert O is going to steal those targets in the red zone. Outside of that, I think Noah Fant is a guy that's locked and loaded for a great game. I think it's quite possible he goes over 100 yards. He just needs to break a couple big plays like we've seen from him before. He's a very explosive player. There's a reason why the Broncos took him in the first round, and there's a reason why there's been excitement around this guy since he was drafted into the NFL. I kind of want Noah Fant in my lineup come week 2. And then, guys, don't be spooked by Aaron Rodgers. Dude, this guy, Aaron Rodgers should be locked in your lineup. He's he's going to tear apart the goddamn Detroit Lions, man. This guy is going to be a big fuck you to the league. He's going to show everybody that he's still Aaron Rodgers. You got to remember, Jimmy G just went for 314 yards and a TD against these Detroit Lions. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be okay. And you know what? Maybe this defense is so terrible that Detroit actually gets some action in this game. You know, I actually think these 2 running backs are great starts this week as well, just because of how terrible this defense is against the run, and they have been for years. Like, I think those backs might actually be able to keep Detroit in this game for a little bit, and that just is better news for a guy like Aaron Rodgers. So I think Aaron Rodgers is a guy ready to rock and roll, you know, maybe a top 5, top 6, top 7 finish this week. Guy that you're going to be totally excited to have in your lineup. A few honorable mentions for you. Allen Robinson against the Bengals. I think he finally lets loose. He's going to get the targets. He's not going to get Jalen Ramsey this week. So I like Allen Robinson against the Bengals. Nelson Aguilar against the Jets. I think this might be a great reclamation project for Bill Belichick. Once again, bringing in a vet. It's been halfway reclamated. I think he's going to take it across the way. He finally gets a wide receiver that, you know, just kind of fits right, that can do a lot of different things, and maybe has those hand issues fixed. But I like Nelson Aguilar, especially against the Jets. And then Chris Carson against Tennessee. Carson is set for a big day. When you think about what Tennessee gave up last week, they're ripe for the picking for a guy like Chris Carson. And then you think about the fact that his backup is Penny's not going to be there. So Rashad Penny not going to be there. And then Justin Herbert against Dallas. I think he really gets rolling against this Dallas offense. I think it's a fun game, man. It's quite possible this is another blow for blow type game. Both of these quarterbacks get going. CD Lamb's going to get going, and you know, Justin Herbert's just going to try to match blow for blow with Dak Prescott. I think that could be a great game. I think Justin Herbert's ready for a multi-touchdown game in week 2. Thank you, guys. If you like what you heard, you like what you saw, please like, please share, please subscribe. Every bit helps. We'll see you guys next time. And make sure that you check out my other video for week 2 sits.